Alright, for some reason, this machine, which is mine, it's only got 410 hours. It's a 2018. It's September 2021 right now. Started blowing a bunch of black smoke for some reason. I don't know if I had an attachment or something on there that boogered up the hydraulic oil or whatever it is, but you can see the residue on there that's normally not there. For some reason, started blowing black smoke, and I don't know what that reason is. I just went through and I just got done changing all the oil. So you get a really nice kit. I'll show you that kit real quick. So this company right here, this Cross Filters, if you look these up online, crossfilters.com, they'll cross-reference anything is basically what it is. So I tell them I got a 2018 Bobcat T595. They send me all the filters. The ones I forgot to get were, I forgot to get these on the side right here for the air conditioning. There's two of those. I missed those. But I'm going to go through and figure out what the heck's going on. I'm changing all the filters. Pulled off your 4 screws here to get to that filter. You can see I just changed that. I put the hours and the date that I changed it. That way I know I'm counting up from there. Go through, it takes 4 of these little clamps. Pull these things off. You can get to your actual condenser and your AC unit on the back of the cab. I take a shop vac and I shop vac everything out. That's the easiest way I've ever found to get Bobcats clean. It makes your shop vac dirty, but my old what is it, a 773 turbo that I had a couple thousand hours on it, and I never had an issue at all cleaning it up with a shop vac, a little bit of simple green, some gloves and a rag. But I'm changing that oil filter. That's a spin on. When you get to the other side, I drain the tank. So now the tank is low right now because the arms are up. I got my little safety in place. That's normally threaded right there. But the reason I have this up is I'm getting access to the cab. When the arm is up, when the arm is all the way up, you have to know that this tank right here, this tank will be empty. So don't fill your tank up with your arms up. But what I do is I drop everything down to the bottom, and then this line right here that goes to the side of the pump, this flexible line right here, not any of the hard plumbed lines, the flex line, that's coming up right here to the bottom of the tank. And you can drain this tank. You can disconnect these right here, these little flips. That'll lift this oil cooler up, and you can drain that oil cooler back into the tank. That'll drain out. Make sure you have a catch can ready. And then you can also suck out the filter housing here. It takes 2 14 millimeters. This this comes off. There's a filter inside of here. You can suck that oil out as well when you put all that back in new. Make sure you got at least, I think that's a 2.5 when you start doing all this catch can. I filled up, well, at least one of those. One was half full. Now I got those almost completely full. Make sure you recycle your oils, guys. No reason in putting it out in the woods or somewhere. Even I got a stone driveway and I'm not dumping oil in my stones, okay? Don't do that. So one of the things that I just thought about right now is this is easy to change. There's 2 filters inside of here. They give you the part numbers. I ordered it from that Cross Filter. Your oil filter, or excuse me, your fuel filter is fairly easy, even though it's a pain in the butt. If you get 2 big channel locks on here after you've taken this off, it just comes off with these 2 right here. Pull it off, put it back together, prime this, you're good to go. It takes a little bit to prime, but it's not bad. That's pretty straightforward. But I do have this little gizmo here, and I think it's called a flex funnel, and I use this quite a bit for getting in and around. I got a Duramax pickup truck that has kind of the same thing. I wrap that around, I forget which filter. I don't know if it's the engine filter or the trans filter. It leaks all over the CV joint, and it's really annoying. So, form a funnel. It's called a form a funnel. I had to go look. So I'm going to try and do this one-handed. It's kind of flat and squared off on the end, and then the other end it's kind of tapered so it can wedge up in there and I can get around there. And I just got a generic, I don't know, I think it's an AutoZone special. This is what I use. Try and do it one-handed. There we go. And basically, that'll drain right there like so. The old Bobcats were really easy. These ones, not so much. That filter's a pain in the butt. You don't want that oil getting all over everything. I'm gonna let that drain right there. I'm fine with it getting on that. But your actual drain, you got a 9/16 and a 9/16 right there. That line, you can barely see it, is right there. Make sure your motor's good and warm. Pull that. It takes forever to drain out of here. So do it at the end of a day, and then come back out the next day and top it back off. That's what I'm doing here. I just changed that oil at 390 hours. Now, one of the things I noticed is look how dark that is right now. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know if it's blowing back inside the engine. I got good oil. I run Amsoil. Everything else I run Bobcat oil. I just go to the dealer. That's the oil that they recommend, that all-season hydraulic hydrostatic fluid. It's the same that goes in their tractors. At least that's what my dealer gives me. Bobcat's a little weird on picking out oil. They don't tell you what it is, which is kind of funny. Obviously, up there at the top is my quick attach, right? So every Bobcat has them. Mine happens to be a high flow unit. Well, I've got a handful of attachments. They go to my Bobcat, they go to my tractor, they go to a bunch of other pieces of equipment. Well, that oil that's going through those quick attach is going through the whole machine. So I don't quite understand. I just realized that today, that there was not a actual ISO 3246 cross references to the whatever it is, JD20 that the John Deere's are. There's nothing on there. So when it's hooked up to my tractor, it's running my tractor oil. When it's hooked up to this, it's running the Bobcat oil, but it's all getting mixed together because those attachments get used by multiple pieces of equipment. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. So I don't know if my hydraulic oil got contaminated and that plugged something up and why it's blowing black smoke. But I'm gonna find that out. I'm gonna either figure out what's going on here, or maybe I'll have to take it to the dealer. We'll see. All right, so that's done. It only takes a second. And I'll show you this, right? So the beauty of this little funnel is it's necked underneath there, so I don't have to really get my Bobcat all nasty and oily. The sucky part is with Bobcats, I like to put oil in my filter, but with Bobcats all you can really do is oil up that little gasket that's on there. Hand tighten a little bit more. Check this out. So throw that in the pan. One rag. That's all the oil. That's it. That's all the oil you get out of that. So form a funnel. I don't know. It was an eBay special a long time ago. I think I've had 2 or 3 of these now. All right, oil is done. Just added my good old Amsoil 1540. All the filters are done. Only filters I missed, like I said before, forgot to order those cabin air filters for the HVAC system. Everything's all vacuumed out, cleaned out. I didn't find any pinched hoses, so I don't know why this thing was huffing and puffing and blowing black smoke under load. Hasn't done it before, so hopefully all fresh oils will change that. Take your safety bar off, put that on. This bar has a tendency to rattle when you're in the cab. Drives me nuts. So I snug them down pretty snug. All right, next thing, I'm gonna have to do this two-handed. So pick up on the cab. You're gonna pick up with one hand here, push up with your other hand. You're gonna grab here. You're gonna squeeze this together. Little instructions right there. Squeeze that together. You'll walk around with one hand holding this up, and you'll slowly set it down. Mine is an old style joystick, or not joystick machine, but whatever you want to call this, the non-joystick machine, the old Bobcat style. You got to watch these go through the holes here, right? So as that comes together, and then we'll put that together, we'll fire the machine up. Hopefully it doesn't smoke. Stuff happens. So anyway, I mark right there. You'll see on the inside of my cab different places, and other places like that says 19mm right there on the two spots. I use a standard combination wrench to give it that final tug to tighten it or to loosen it. But then I use this. This is an older gear wrench. It's got a swivel head on it. It's really good for getting in there, getting that spot, snugging those the rest of the way on or off. We're gonna fire it up and hopefully it doesn't smoke. All right, we're gonna let the Bobcat warm up. All right, I don't have the back plate on yet. Don't worry about that, I'll get that on later. I just wanna go test it real quick. I don't have these on yet either, because I don't know if I'm gonna have to get back in here, but I try and run that right in the middle. So, arms down, machine warm, that in the middle is where it's supposed to be.